Okay, champions, so that is the video for library. Miss Mita, hope all of you like and enjoy the video. Remember, stay healthy and stay safe. God bless you. See you. Okay, champions, for today we are going to read an ebook about this Smart Thinking Skills for Critical Understanding and Writing, Oxford. Matthew Allen. Okay, Smart Thinking is a practical step-by-step guide to improving skills in analysis and critical thinking and the effective communication of arguments and explanations. With an accessible and straightforward style, this book is of great use for students at university and also final year school who are looking to improve their analytical skills. The second edition treats reasoning as an aspect of communication, not an abstract exercise in logic. It not only provides detailed advice on how to practice better analytical skills, but also demonstrates their application to finding information and writing more currently. The focus in this book is on improving one's reasoning rather than simply reading others' arguments. The particular smart thinking emphasis how to develop arguments that are coherent and take account of their audience and context. Okay, let's start. Okay, so this is Oxford University Press, and this the details information about copyright, and then that, and the contents. Smart thinking, the key elements of reasoning understanding language, more about claims, and reasoning review. Linking the key process in reasoning. And this, okay, here there are 10 chapters. Okay, preface to first edition. The study and teaching of critical thinking, also known as informal logic, is relatively rare in Australia. There is little to guide the keen student or teacher in the development of skills for analysis and reasoning in everyday work and study. The orientation of most of the available books on this subject is more traditionally logical, and this orientation further complicates the process of teaching and learning. Applied critical thinking skills complicates the process of teaching and learning applied critical thinking skill, since it tends to remove the use of reasoning and logical analysis from even its more basic social context. Smart thinking is designed to provide a simple but not simplistic guide for the development of critical thinking and analytical skills. It combines the unadopted strengths of the informal logical approach with a newer, but often overlooked insight that reasoning and analysis are always communicative acts. I would not pretend that one can easily resolve the epistemological tensions between, on the one hand, the commonly held commitments to objective judgment and truth that underpin logic as a mode of analysis, and on the other, the social relativism and intersubjectivity that a communicate theory approach demands. However, from a pragmatic point of view, there is considerable profit to be gained from letting these two distinct approaches jostle alongside one another. Moreover, for all my attempts to keep competing epistemological ideas to minimum in smart thinking, the book cannot remain purely practical, simple advice. Better thinking wraps up against deep and important matters of philosophy in a way that thinking wraps up against deep and important matters of in a way that I hope creates a constructive interaction between the case and the ease with which one can begin to improve one's thinking and the complexity of thinking about smart thinking. While I myself work theoretically within Structuralist frameworks, smart thinking's bias towards communicative issues stems primarily from the very practical experiences I had in developing and teaching a critical thinking and unit applied reasoning 200 at Curtin University of Technology in Perth. On the basis of my experiences with many hundreds of students, I'm confident in asserting is that it is wrong to divorce analytical thinking from its communicative context. Outside the narrow confines of some academics disciplines, communication takes place on a vast scale with far too little critical analysis to support it. It is precisely at the junction between knowledge as something and one known, and knowledge as a function of communication that most of us need assistance in sharpening up our thinking skills. My work in applied reasoning 200 has not only helped my own development as a critical thinking, but has given me the opportunity to test ideas and approaches on a captive audience. So my first step of gratitude is to all the students who have in so many ways contributed to the writing of this book. Applied Reasoning 200 also became the focal point for a series of collegial relationships from it which I have benefited enormously for desk assistant insights and perseverance with often impractical ideas. My thanks are extended to Patrick, Betola, Gina. Okay, here and then next, how to use this book. To get the most out of this book, you will need to read it carefully chapter by chapter. The book builds sequentially so that many of the ideas and concepts introduced in earlier chapter underpin more complex discussion of related issues in subsequent chapter. Also, as you go, you should do the exercises in each chapter. Do not check the answers until you have completed all of a particular exercise and are satisfied with them. When you turn to the answers, discussion, and further advice, you will see that in most cases, there is further discussion of the issue and concepts relevant to its exercise. As much as you can, don't be tempted to look at the next set of answers until you have completed the exercise for them. Often you will be asked to do an exercise in order to provide you with the experience necessary to get the most out of the further advice offered in the answers. And when you have done the exercise and checked the answers, I expect you will need to reread and revise the chapter again. After you have read a chapter, done the exercises and check the answer, look at the concept check and review exercise at the end of the chapter. The concepts introduced in each chapter are listed. You should briefly write down what you know about them. Then turn to the glossary to check your answer. There are, by contrast, no answers provided for the few review questions that you will find at the end of most chapters. If you have understood and integrated the material in each chapter, you should be able to answer these questions confidently. If you cannot, then it is possible a sign that you have missed something. Finally, you should integrate what you learn about reasoning in this book with the work or study you are doing at the moment. For example, when doing the exercises and review questions, you will often be called upon to use information from your own life examples or basic material with which to do an exercise. The whole point of this book is to give practical applied advice. I can provide the advice, you must apply it. This book aims to provide you with structured information, exercises, and reflection to guide your own learning. Your investment of time and effort is working through this structure will provide you with considerable returns in improving your smart thinking. Okay, here is there are smart thinking. What is smart thinking? And here listening. Okay, here. Okay, there are still a lot of another pages. If you feel curious about this and you want to read more, Miss Mita will attach this ebook PDF in Edmodo so you can download it. And happy reading. See you on Zoom. Thank you. Hello champions, welcome to Term 3. How are you? Miss Mita hope all of you stay healthy and stay safe. So this is the video for library for Term 3. Please check it out.